You know exactly what you do. The lights go off. Everyone else in the house is asleep. And before you drift off, you reach over, not for your phone, not for a blanket, but for a pillow. And you pull it in, close to your chest, maybe tucked under your chin or hugged against your stomach. And in that moment, something just settles. And maybe nobody knows. Or maybe someone teased you about it once. A partner, a sibling, a friend who saw it and laughed. You still sleep with a pillow like that? Isn't that kind of childish? And for a second, you wondered the same thing. Is this weird? Should I have grown out of this by now? Here's what I need you to hear right now. No, you haven't. And psychology doesn't just say you're normal. It says people who do this tend to carry a very specific set of traits. Traits that most people spend their whole lives trying to develop. If you sleep this way, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see yourself very differently. Let's start with the why, because your brain is doing something very specific here, and it is not random. Human beings are wired for contact. From the moment we're born, physical touch is not a luxury. It is a biological requirement. Skin-to-skin contact in infancy regulates our heart rate, our breathing, even our stress hormones. That need doesn't just disappear when you get older. It rewires itself. It finds new expressions. When you hold a pillow at night, your nervous system processes that pressure, that warmth, that sense of something there, and it triggers the same neurological pathway that physical closeness with another person would. The brain doesn't fully distinguish between the two. It just registers, safe, grounded, not alone. This is connected to a concept called tactile anchoring, the idea that the human nervous system uses physical sensation as a cue to downregulate, or in simpler terms, to switch off the stress response and move into rest. Now here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone needs this. Some people fall asleep the second their head hits a flat pillow and they don't reach for anything. Those people tend to have what psychologists describe as a low baseline anxiety profile, meaning their nervous system idles quietly. But the people who reach for the pillow, their nervous system runs hotter. It's more alert, more attuned, more switched on. And that is not a defect. That is the engine behind some truly extraordinary human qualities. Let me show you what I mean. Trait number 1, you have an exceptionally high-functioning emotional system. People who need tactile grounding at night are very often the same people who feel everything more deeply during the day. Joy hits harder. Music moves them. A difficult conversation at work doesn't just stay at work, it rides home with them and sits at the dinner table. Psychology calls this sensory processing sensitivity, and roughly 15 to 20% of the population has it in meaningful amounts. These are the people who walk into a room and immediately read it. The tension between two coworkers, the subtle sadness behind someone's "I'm fine," the shift in energy when a conversation has gone wrong. This is not anxiety. This is perception. And in your relationships, in your parenting, in your leadership, it makes you someone people feel genuinely seen by. That is rare. That is valuable. And it runs on the same fuel that makes you reach for a pillow at 11 p.m. Trait number 2, you are wired for deep, loyal attachment. Here's something that gets overlooked. The way you sleep is a direct mirror of how you connect. Attachment psychology, developed by John Bowlby and later expanded by decades of research, tells us that humans fall into different patterns of relating to others, and the people who instinctively seek comfort objects, physical closeness, or grounding rituals, they typically lean toward what's called a secure or anxiously attached style. And when that energy is channeled well, it produces something incredibly powerful: deep loyalty. If you're a pillow cuddler, you're probably not someone who love bombs people and disappears. You're the one who checks in 3 days after a hard conversation. You remember the thing someone mentioned in passing 2 months ago. You show up. That's not weakness. That is a love language most people would kill to receive. Trait number 3, you have a highly active mind that needs a landing strip. Ask yourself, what happens when you don't have the pillow? For most pillow cuddlers, sleep just doesn't come as easily. The mind keeps running. You're replaying conversations, planning tomorrow, solving problems that don't technically exist yet. This is called cognitive hyperactivity, and while it can be a source of frustration at bedtime, during the day it looks like creativity, strategic thinking, and an almost uncanny ability to anticipate problems before they happen. The pillow isn't a crutch. It's a landing strip for a mind that doesn't know how to just stop. You're not broken. You're a high-performance engine that needs a proper cool-down protocol. And you figured one out intuitively without anyone telling you. Trait number 4, you have a deeply developed sense of self-soothing. Think about what you're actually doing when you reach for that pillow. Nobody told you to. No app reminded you. No therapist prescribed it. You developed, entirely on your own, a self-regulation tool that works. In therapeutic psychology, the ability to self-soothe is considered one of the highest markers of emotional resilience. It means that when things get hard, you don't fully collapse. You find something, a ritual, a texture, a routine that brings you back to yourself. People who can't do this are the ones who spiral, the ones who lash out, the ones who go numb. You do none of that. You pull a pillow close and you breathe. That is not childish. That is mastery. Trait number 5, you crave real connection, and that makes you magnetic. At the deepest level, the pillow is a stand-in for something real, closeness, warmth, and presence. And the fact that your body wants that it reaches for it even in sleep, tells you something profound about who you are. You are not someone who's wired for surface-level relationships. You don't do well with people who keep everyone at arm's length. You hunger for real conversation, real honesty, real contact. And that hunger makes you push for deeper connection in every relationship you have. The people who know you well, they don't think of you as needy. They think of you as someone who made them feel truly known. There is no greater gift you can give another person, and it starts, believe it or not, with the way you sleep. So let's bring this all the way home. You cuddle a pillow to sleep, and for years, maybe, you've treated that as a quirk to hide, something slightly embarrassing, something you don't mention on a first date or bring up at work. But look at what we've actually uncovered today. You are highly perceptive. You form deep, loyal bonds. Your mind runs at a frequency that most people can't match. You've built your own internal architecture for coping with a world that asks a lot of you. And at the very core of you, you want real connection, and you make the people around you feel it. You were never broken. You were built with a more sensitive receiver. You pick up signals others miss. You feel the world at a higher resolution. And yes, sometimes that means you need a little more grounding to fall asleep. That is a small price for the life you get to live inside that mind of yours. So tonight, when you reach for that pillow, don't feel embarrassed. Feel what it actually is, your nervous system doing exactly what it's supposed to do, returning you to safety so you can wake up tomorrow and do it all again. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, do you cuddle a pillow or do you have a different nighttime grounding ritual? A blanket, a specific sleeping position, white noise? Tell me what it is. I read every single one and I genuinely want to know. And if this video made you feel understood, if you watched it and thought, that's me, how did they know that? Then this channel was built for you. Hit subscribe because every week we go this deep. I'll see you in the next one.